We are live in Studio B with your day-to-day BYU sports play-by-play. I'm Jason Shepard along with Dave McCann, and it's time to talk some hoops. The non-conference schedule was released earlier today for the BYU basketball team, and we're happy to have assistant coach Chris Burgess as well as the shot doctor, Trevin Knell, joining us here in Studio B. Guys, welcome back.
It's good to be here.
I'm excited to be here.
It's good to be talking hoops.
Yeah, that's right.
The excitement level for hoops is through the roof. Now that you've got some of this stuff that's now public with the non-conference schedule, I mean, what's the excitement level inside the program? We know what it is outside, but you guys are practicing and getting everything ready. What's the excitement level for you guys?
I mean, every time you have like a change in the program with the coaching staff, right, you never know what to expect, right? But I think that the momentum that Coach Young has kind of done with this team has got the people excited. Obviously, Trevin coming back, Dallin coming back, Richie and Foos coming back, and then adding some pieces to fill in some holes for people that have left, right? And then, you know, just some of the things that we've done, right? This off season and the summer has been really good. Just Trevin getting to know us and the coaching staff get to know the players and, you know, figuring that stuff out, being on the recruiting trail. It's been a lot of fun. Right, and so like you just said, this non-conference schedule being done is kind of the last thing to check off.
Let's put that schedule up as we introduce the Trevin Knell farewell tour. Right, this is the swan song season. So as you look at these non-conference games, what jumps off the page to you, Trevor?
I mean, just from what we learned last year, like every game is going to be a dogfight. And so we just take every game by game. But it's going to be super fun to be able to, be coached by Burge again, be coached by, these high level guys and be able to go out there with my team again. But again, some games that pop out are, when we go to San Diego, when we go play, Providence. So it's going to be really fun for sure.
Well, and I think last year was a perfect example of what the non-conference can do for a team. And you guys gained so much confidence and you really got on a roll and you had big wins over San Diego State and NC State, and it really did propel you into the Big 12. So with that in mind then, Coach, take us through the construction of this and what went into putting this non-conference together.
Well, when we walked into it, we knew right away there was going to be 20 regular season conference Big 12 games where last year was 18. So right away you're getting 2 more high-level games, right? And then you have the 2 tournament games. So we knew right away we wanted to find a mix of teams that could help us prepare for the Big 12, the physicality, right, the speed of it, how often they guard, how often they pick you up. And so we wanted to get prepared for that. Also find a mix of teams that we can throw different lineups out there, right, and figure out what works, right, especially some of the younger guys building some confidence, right? We're not worried about guys like Trevin because Trev's done it at the highest level for 7-8 years now, right? And so we wanted to make sure we got a mix of everything. We're excited about some old rivalry games, right? Having Fresno State show up here, right? Playing Wyoming, kind of adjusting that game, but getting Wyoming in the Delta Center, right? So some Mountain West kind of older rivalries. So we're excited about the schedule that allows us to do a number of things, prepare for that December 30th, December 31st tip-off date in the Big 12.
It seems to mirror last year in that there was San Diego State, but that game was at home. You got Providence on the road.
Yeah.
And then there were the 2 games in Vegas. You got the 2 games in San Diego.
Yeah.
Those 3 games are really the core of your RPI, which then, next thing you know, you're into the top 25 and you hang around there for a while.
Yeah, that's right. I think Providence is probably going to be a quad 1, and 2 of those, one of the 2 of those games in San Diego are going to be quad 1, we think. But honestly, we didn't even think about that as we were preparing in the non-conference. We just felt like when you have 20 Big 12 games, you're going to get enough quad 1s and quad 2 opportunities to really build your net. All right, but at the end of the day, it was more about us preparing and getting ready for the Big 12 as opposed to, focusing on quad 1. We knew that was going to take care of itself just with the schedule that was already presented to us.
What did you learn from the Big 12 last year to go right along with Coach Burgess' theory of it's everything to get ready for the end of December when the big games begin?
Yeah, just kind of like what I said. It's like no matter what, you could be up 20, you could be up 1, and it's a dogfight till the end, till the last whistle blows. And so we saw that a ton last year with, playing in the Big 12 and everything. But again, with, playing NC State, we were down early. We were able to fight back, and then it just kind of helped us prepare for the Big 12. So I'm excited for, what Coach Burgess did with the schedule and to get ready for, 20 quad 1 games and then some other ones in the preseason.
Could very well be 20 quad.
Absolutely. Bird, you had mentioned, you were able to work things out with Wyoming to get them to come to the Delta Center. I love that game.
Yeah.
That has always been, BYU has played that game for a long, long time. And then for a while, it was an in-state tournament. Now, when that went away, I'm glad that BYU has kept that. And to get a team like Wyoming that you have a history with being in the same conference, that's pretty cool that tradition to be able to play at the Delta Center is still going to be there.
Yeah, for sure. There was a 3-year contract started last year that started Provo, and then Laramie was supposed to be this upcoming season, then come back to Provo. And, we kind of looked at our schedule with San Diego gone for a few days and then going straight to Providence and then having go straight to Laramie. And we were trying to find a marquee kind of Delta Center game that we could put on our ticket. Right, our ticket package. And so we approached them asking if they'd be willing to kind of adjust the contract, move it back a year. We'll still come to Laramie. Let's start in the 25 season, but would you guys be willing to come to the Delta Center for a year? And we had a relationship, obviously, with their AD and then the new head coach, Sundance Wicks, who's one of the most respected coaches out there, just got the job from Green Bay. And he was all on board. And so we're excited about, that Mount West WAC rivalry coming to the Delta Center. It's going to be fun. And there's, they're actually higher elevation, so there's no real advantage in terms of, a home court in terms of trying to run teams off the floor because they're struggling to breathe in the second half.
Trevin, can you believe that you're sitting here listening to all this, considering back at Woods Cross and Cal and Dave Rose and Mark Pope and now Kevin Young and you're still shooting threes.
Still shooting threes with these guys.
How have you pulled this thing off? And by the way, for the record, you are not the oldest player in Division I.
I'm not the oldest.
There are a couple others that have snuck in.
And hush those.
We can stop that talk right now.
Stop right now.
Let's stop it. What's this ride been like for you?
It's been amazing. When I was a freshman coming in, I had guys like Yoli, Zach, and they're always saying, hey, enjoy the ride because it's going to go by super fast. And when I was out there for my first game, I was like, there's no way it's going to go by that fast. Like, we got 30 games a year. It goes pretty much, we play basketball year round. And it's crazy that I'm going into really my 6th season here. I've had some roller coaster rides, but to be able to play with, the coaches that I have and then play with the guys that I have right now, it's been really special for sure.
When you think about it, what you've gone through, there's big teams winning big games. There's COVID. There's the Big 12, there's being injured and sitting out and having to watch everyone moving forward. It feels like you've had the whole experience.
I've had the whole experience, and it's really, you kind of see it from a different lens, right? So I'm super grateful for, every opportunity I have, and you can learn so many things by, not playing for a year, by, playing under people and watching the veterans play for a year, and then being that veteran, and helping the younger guys. So it's been really cool for sure.
This would be a question for both of you. I'd be interested in your thoughts on this. Coach Young was on a recent podcast with Aaron Torres, and he was asked about the new guys, but Coach Young quickly said, look, one of the things that all these new guys wanted to know was, hey, are the returning guys going to come back? It was important that they were back because they knew what you and Richie and Dallin, Dawson, all these guys that are back, Foose, what that meant to the team. How much have you guys as returning players really enjoyed this new mix and coming into this year?
Yeah, I mean, the new guys are awesome. It's kind of crazy, we went from being, I feel like, one of the oldest teams to like one of the youngest with all the new guys coming in and all the 18-year-olds that are in Provo now. But they have a ton of energy, so it's super fun for us, who've done it for a while, to be able to be surrounded by those guys that have a ton of energy, that want to learn, that ask questions, and then they'll look to us for like, hey, how do you get past this? Like, what do you see on this play? So it's been super unique to be able to be a coach in that kind of situation and be a leader in those situations as well. But yeah, they're a ball of energy, and they want to learn, they want to grow, and they want to hoop. So it's been awesome.
I think that's what makes BYU super special, right? And Trevin's almost like a unicorn in the landscape of college basketball, right? With the transfer portal and guys leaving and doing whatever. Like, Trevin's been through injuries, right? He's been through a guy that probably got a little bit less minutes than he thought he would maybe his freshman year, and he's just stayed the course. He's gotten better. He's grinded. He hasn't just jumped in the portal, right? And he hasn't done things that like normal college basketball dudes, or he had success last year and he didn't look for the better opportunity. He was like, nah, this is what this place is about. And I think that's what makes BYU special. And guys like Trevin, right, and Down and Richie and Foose, that's what makes the front of the jersey of BYU mean so much, is because these guys buy in, right? And I've known Trevor a long time. In fact, he was one of the first kids I started recruiting when he was a sophomore, maybe, when I was at Utah Valley. And so I'm super excited to kind of be along for this last year, this last ride for him. But I think that is what makes BYU, is guys like Trevin believe in this place and what it's about, and are willing to put in the work during the ups and the downs, right, as opposed to just take the easy way out at times, right? And I think that's a testament to him and the coaching staff that's been around him.
Yegor was here last week, Yegor Demon, and I thought it was interesting what he said. Here's a kid that's come in that's stamped for the NBA lottery, if it all goes the way the pundits say. But his point was that the senior guys, the older guys, were so important to him and to Canning and the 18-year-olds. And I thought that was an interesting dynamic for the young guys to pick up, as we get all this attention, but really what matters are these guys to help us.
So 100%. I mean, you can take a step further in terms of, like, if you look at an NBA teams like the Spurs organization, right? I don't think guys like Tony Parker or Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili have the careers they have if they didn't have those older guys, those veteran players, those guys to show them what it takes to be a pro, right? So a guy like Yegor or a guy like Cannon are going to benefit with guys like Trevin, right, Dallin, Richie, because they know what it's like to take care of their body. They know what it's like to get in the gym. They know what it's like to put in extra work. They know what it's like to communicate on the court, right? And so these guys want to play with Trevin. First of all, he's a really good player, but he's also going to teach them how to be a pro, and at the same time have balance, right, of basketball, family life, student. He is the full thing when it comes to a student athlete. So that is why these guys are so important when we're on the recruiting trail and we're talking about these guys, right, and what this place means and how they'll help you be better players and achieve your goals.
Yeah.
Over the next little while, obviously with the non-conference now solidified, now we wait for the Big 12 schedule to be released. If you go on when it was released last year, it could be within the next couple weeks. I guess we'll have to wait and find out officially when that comes out. But what's the next month, 2 months look like as you guys gear up for the season?
I mean, it's kind of crazy for me because it's literally my last summer, right? So we got 4 more practices. And I was talking to, Craig Manning, and he was saying, like, hey, when you talk to some guys, like, this could be their first or their last, summer workouts with BYU. So, you kind of, like, have a whole different perspective when you work out now. But, yeah, so we have this last week, 4 more days of really hard workouts, and then we get a couple of weeks off. And then day after Labor Day, we start up again for a couple more weeks, where it's like the 4 hours a week type thing, and then it's go time. So it's all rules kind of like go away a little bit, but it's going to be super fun to be able to, get into a real legit, 2.5 hour practices where we can really dial in different things.
Let me ask you and put you on the spot for a second. You've been on some good teams here. No one knows how this team's going to be, but as far as talent in the gym, has there ever been more?
Like, I would say no. The talent we have is insane, and it's going to be super fun. I always tell people, like, they're like, how does this team rank against last year's team? And I always say, like, I feel like the way our trajectory is and, like, the way the chemistry is already flowing and how we communicate on the floor, like, it's pretty special. And so it's going to be super fun to step out on the floor and not play against each other anymore, but play against someone else. But yeah, it's really, really special this year.
Nice job, Coach.
Yeah, these guys are competing every day. That's what makes, like, iron sharpens iron, and that's what these guys are doing every single day. And our practices are going to be harder than a lot of our games this year, right? And that's what you want, right? You want your practices to be able to translate over to a game because it's going to be super competitive, right? And so these guys are competing every single day, and that's what we're trying to incorporate every single day in practice, that we're competing. Yes, we're learning, but we're competing.
Assistant Coach Chris Burgess, Trevin Knell, guys, it's always good to see and talk. Especially now we're talking some hoops. We got some hard dates here with teams. It's all starting to come together. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, you guys. We appreciate it.
We'll give you the BYU Sports Nation karma for the rest of the off season too.
Summer karma.
However you can use that, we're going to give it to you right now.
I like it,
guys. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.